Alright everybody, in today's Peroxide video we're going to be talking about future reworks and possible new abilities. Now I'm not going to lie y'all, only about one of these is confirmed, so like everything in this video just take with a grain of salt. This is just kind of more of a fun video, just predicting, seeing if in the future we can get these right. So without further ado, let's get started. So one thing actually before I go ahead and start listing what abilities can get a rework, I do want to say I'm not coming out of this out of nowhere. Like if you guys look at their updates, they kind of have a pattern of pretty much like backtracking and reworking all their past abilities that aren't used much or are just pretty much outdated. So yeah guys, this isn't just like a random video, but without further ado, let's get started. So our first ability I think is going to get a rework is Flame. Now you guys correct me if I'm wrong on this, they might have already reworked this, but I feel like they can do so much more for Flame and just a Flame Bankai in general. Just look at Yamamoto. If you guys watched 1000 Year Blood War, like he revealed his Bankai there, or his like full Bankai, and he went crazy, y'all. So like the one we have now, it's not like it's bad, it's actually one of the top like abilities in this game, even being a rare. But I feel like for it being Yamamoto's Bankai, it could be so much more, and they could even move this up to a legendary. Now that we stated the ability that could get a rework, now I'm gonna talk about the new moves and passives it could possibly get. I'm not gonna lie y'all, these moves are really weird to say, so I'm gonna just put it up on screen and like put a couple photos, like pretty much just visually explaining what it is, because I'm not gonna try and pronounce these things. But our first passive can be whenever you first release your Flame Bankai. So as whenever Yamamoto gets in his Bankai, he's basically like untouchable pretty much. Like if you touch him, you'll burn up. I'm gonna put the description on the screen if you guys want to pause it and look at it. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's invisible to everybody, so what I'm saying, it'll be a perfect passive. It's not necessarily a move. It's basically like a flame cloak that nobody can see that damages his enemies. So the way they would insert this in the game is pretty easy, just like maybe a certain range, or if someone even tries to M1 you, like they take a good amount of burn damage, and yeah, it would definitely be very overpowered, but it would make sense. Now for our next ability slash passive, is kind of weird since we technically already have this in game, but I feel like the Flame Ultimate, even though it's very good, I feel like instead of having like the skeletons and all that be a part of your ultimate, I feel like they could kind of make that an M2 of some sort, or maybe change one of the basic flame moves and make that pop out the skeletons instead of the ultimate. I feel like for the ultimate it should be this. I'm gonna put it up on screen again. I'm not gonna try and pronounce these names, but yeah, I feel like a slash that is supposed to incinerate anybody who gets hit by it fits more for a Bankai ultimate than just the Ocean of Fire. Even though it is a good move, I feel like it could be used different. But yeah guys, that's about it for our first ability, and we're gonna move on to the next. But yeah, just to conclude this, obviously Flame is a very solid ability and they don't have to rework this at all, but I'm saying it's cool to try and predict it if they were to try and make a rework off of it. Alright y'all, so next ability that I think could possibly get a rework is Gravity. Like, let's be honest guys, like nobody uses Gravity, and if you do, you're a champion, but like Gravity is absolutely horrible. It's underwhelming visually and like all around. I feel like people would rather use Wind than Gravity actually. Like if you compare Soul Reaper rares to the every other race, you'll be like Flame is fine, but you look at Gravity and Gravity is just horrible. So I feel like this definitely needs a rework. Like I know Flame doesn't need one, but this one definitely needs a rework, you guys. As for the abilities, you guys, I'm not too sure on what they could like change about Gravity. I feel like they definitely need to take away the gravity field though. Like Gravity right now kind of just reminds me of like a worse Ope. If you guys ever played any One Piece games, if you guys know like Law's Fruit, like Gravity is literally that, but like worse. So yeah, I'm not too sure y'all. I feel like they definitely do need to get rid of the field if they end up revamping this, and they need to make the moves way quicker. But yeah, next ability I feel like could possibly get a rework is Glacier. Now listen guys, Glacier by no means is a bad ability. I mean, it's a legendary. It has a lot of passives that pretty much give it extra moves at this point, and it's pretty much my favorite Soul Reaper ability, but I feel like it's possible it could get a rework. But even with Glacier being one of my most favorite abilities in this game, I do feel like the like models, like the ice models, are kind of outdated. I mean, they look great, but like they're consistently improving this game, and at some point they're gonna have to improve these ice models. Now for the actual abilities of Glacier, I feel like Glacier out of all the other legendaries is definitely one of the most worst out of all of them. Of course Glacier is not bad at all, but that combo extender really throws it off. Like, you can kind of tell that the devs know that this combo extender is like, it needs to be fixed, because they're making tons of changes every single update on that combo extender, but it's still bad. Like, nobody uses that combo extender. Pretty much, if you're a Glacier user, you have to resort to using like Geki or even Cyclone. So I feel like something really cool they can replace this with is some sort of flash freeze. If you guys don't know, like the passives on Glacier are absolutely insane, especially those if you like perfect block it. I think it's, I'm not too sure, y'all, but you have to press a button, and then if you get hit or anything like that, you do like a flash freeze, like you cut them up or whatever. I feel like if they replace that with our normal Glacier combo extender, like, it would be much better. I feel like they could also improve move 2 by making it to where if you actually get hit by the actual like projectile and you get knocked back or whatever, you turn to a little ice cube or whatever, like you get frozen or whatever. And then obviously they can improve on the models for that one. Now for our first move, like, that move is definitely the go-to move. With that one, there's not too much that to do with it, except for obviously improving on the models, but that's about it. Now for our next rework, this one's pretty obvious because they pretty much said this to our faces that they're going to do this, and it's Manifest. Now Manifest, I have absolutely no clue how they can improve on this. It's already an amazing ability, one of the best in the game, but they said they're going to rework it or whatever, touch it up a little bit. I don't necessarily know what they mean by that, but obviously we're going to be getting something good, guys. So this one, I'm not too sure, y'all. Like I said, for this one, we're probably just going to have to wait and see because it's already confirmed. So yeah. Now for these next two abilities I'm going to talk about, these aren't necessarily reworks, but these are, actually new Soul Reaper abilities. I'm not too sure on how they would actually implement these in the game, but I feel like it would definitely be something fun to talk about. So the first additional ability I think is going to be added in is Ink. Now I don't necessarily think they're going to just take this straight from the show and just, put in the game called Ink. I feel like they're actually going to make this like some sort of an art ability. Now as for the, possible moves they can make for this ability, I'm actually not too sure because obviously we don't already have this in game, so it's not like we can base it off moves we currently have. But I definitely do feel like if they add this into the game, the passives are going to be absolutely wild, especially for Bankai. As for the moves, I feel like this might be kind of a gamble, but you could draw like creatures or like animals or something like that that can help you in the fight, because we don't necessarily have like a like a Bankai, Shikai, any ability in this game. We don't necessarily have an ability like that. The only thing we necessarily have close to that is Manifest when you get on the bike, which I feel like they can definitely take some inspiration from that. I could definitely see like you drawing like a bird or something and gaining temporary flight, and if you hit someone with it, they don't necessarily get damaged too much, but they do get like a big debuff. Another passive I just thought up of for this Shikai slash Bankai is maybe like, even if you were to like block like one of the moves or something like that, like the paint will splatter on the ground, and if you're standing on the paint, it would give you like some sort of a debuff or something like that, guys. So I don't know, y'all, just let me know in the comments if you guys like that little Ink slash art idea. Next additional ability is Confusion, or some sort of confusion, like illusion, something like that. We don't necessarily have any illusion type abilities except for Clone, but Clone, I don't even want to talk about Clone, y'all. I'm a Clone hater. Clone is very annoying. But it would be cool if we got something based off of Aizen's thing, or Shinji's, but it would most likely be based off of Shinji's, like that little Ink slash art idea. We already have Ichibe's brush, and we have Sakanade's like sword blade, whatever, like the circle blade Shinji has. We already got that in game, so it would definitely make sense to add that. And in like other Bleach games, we've seen time and time before that Shinji's Shikai slash Bankai is always in there, so it'd be definitely cool to see that in Peroxide. But yeah, guys, that's about it for today's video. Let me know if you guys liked any of these ideas I thought up of. It was kind of just a fun video I was talking about, but a lot of these things are possible, especially the reworks. The additional abilities are kind of they're kind of out of range, but I feel like the reworks can definitely be done, especially Gravity and Flame. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys liked any of my abilities I talked about, and yeah, peace.